Hi, everyone. Before I speak of Gaza, let my name tell a story. Nasser Muhammad Isa Abdullah al-Najjar. My great-grandfather, Abdullah, which means servant of God in Arabic, farmed 10 acres of land in Masmiya, a village south of Ashdod. He grew peaches, oranges, and olive trees, all with deep roots into the land. Abdullah was gifted with 2 boys, but heartbreakingly, he lost them to fever by the age of 3. Hoping to protect his third and ward off the evil eye, he named my grandfather Abs, which meaning in Arabic, the grumpy one. My grandfather, Grumpy, grew up happily with siblings with normal names. They all continued to farm the land they inherited from Abdullah and his line of Palestinian farmers for hundreds of years, not knowing it had been promised to a chosen people from Brooklyn 3,000 years ago. By 1948, Abs, in his 20s, was blessed with 3 children, including my father, Muhammad. Abs had no formal schooling, though he was grateful for God's gifts, his farm, and children. But that summer, dark cloud descended on our lives and never left since then. Abs, a simple farmer, fled south to Gaza, protecting his family, even it meant leaving his land to gang members speaking a foreign tongue. Ab's house turned into a tent. His village turned into a refugee camp, and the food that his farm used to produce was replaced with canned food from the United Nations. Although my grandfather never saw his farm again, he was always curious about what the land grew. He learned from relatives of us that his farm was turned into a peanut farm. He was extremely disappointed. Abs decided not to have more children. There was no land to farm anymore. And poverty was inevitable unless he invested in his children's education. That's why he was so restricted, forcing his children to study hard, to the level he worked as a school janitor just to keep a close eye on his children. My father, Muhammad, did well in school and received a scholarship to study in Egypt. That's when my father needed to issue a passport. He thought of doing one nice thing to my grandfather before leaving to Egypt. He added a dot under my grandfather's name, Abs. Does anyone speak Arabic here? So it's changed from Abs to Isa. That single dot transformed Abs' name from Grumpy to Jesus. When my grandfather learned what happened, he told my father, all what it took was a dot to make me happy. Through my 40 years on this earth, our oppressors described us as unwanted residents, Guyams, human shields, earthworms, and human animals. But animals do not share stories. They don't remember their ancestors' names, their intergenerational struggle. They don't stand in front of you, or they don't describe their faith in Jesus. I'm not here to share statistics that over 10,000 people are still missing, that over 25,000 Gazans lost their limbs, that over 9,000 Palestinian hostages are still in Israeli dungeon, including 351 children went to military courts. I'm not here to tell you that 100% of my people starved. I'm not here to tell you that 100% of my people got displaced. Various humanitarian organizations can share these facts. There's a QR code here that shows what they described us in 27 pages. I came to the house of God to ask our beloved Jesus, how are my people doing up there? The people who left us. Tell me, my Lord, that the men, women, and children who have left us are safe under your shadow. Tell me there are no more bombing, fears, or tears. Assure me there are no more UN tents and heavens. We hate them, they became part of our skin. Tell me that my people are not going to get displaced over and over and over again. Assure me there are no more checkpoints, no more torture, no more humiliation. Tell me they're eating fresh fruits, regular fruits, any fruits. They're not forced to eat animal feed anymore. Most importantly, tell me we are all equal under your eye, in your eye. There are no more chosen people, no more superior race. Tell me, so I can sleep at night. Jesus taught us in Matthew 5:39, if someone slaps you in the right cheek, turn to them the other cheek. But I'm just a human. How could I forgive those who tortured my 75 years old Uncle Hassan? For killing my cousin Hamada and orphaning his daughters? For destroying my sister's house, for amputating my friend Abdullah's legs, for the pain they caused to my friend Zaid by killing his daughter Karma? How could I forgive Israeli soldiers for undermining the international law, traumatizing the world population with scenes of barbarism and savagery, and sharing that on their cameras with no shame? I don't have the right to forgive. I don't have the right to forgive. Only the dead and the victim has that right. As for me, I have an obligation to seek justice for the victims and to raise awareness among the public. To clarify, justice doesn't mean revenge. It doesn't mean to lose our civil ways, our faith, and humanity. Justice means punishment and reconciliation in civil ways and according to the law. I don't need to be Christian to feel your empathy and prayers to my people. And you don't need to be Palestinian to feel our pain, my pain. In Islam, we believe that the son of Mary, Jesus, was a Palestinian Jew, a reformer who stood with the poor and faced the corruption. He faced the ultimate price for his message. And 2,000 years later, perhaps it's our destiny that his descendants on the same land, the Palestinians, to pay a similar price that the world may improve, the UN may be reformed, and the international law may finally be upheld. If God were to send a new Bible, it will tell the story of my people and their struggle. How we lived for generations under a blockade. How everyone I ever met, knew, shook hands with, or even had a disagreement with, starved in Gaza. How children were forced to watch their parents burn before their eyes, and how parents carried their beheaded children to hospitals, the real beheaded children, yes, to hospitals in plastic bags. How the powerful, the corrupt politicians stood with a modern-day Goliath against the Palestinian David. Yet, if God to send a new Bible, He will also tell how the streets around the world are flooded with millions of good-hearted people chanting for our freedom. How prayers from synagogue, churches, mosques, and temples ascended for my people. How university students across the globe mounted protest. How individuals abandoned their careers to stand against the powerful enablers and profiteers of this genocide. And how the Freedom Flotilla set sail from every corner of the world to challenge the armada of evil. And though the flotilla didn't make it and break through, it allowed simple fishermen of Gaza to collect fish from God's sea and feed the hungry. Praise the Lord. My son was born 4 months before the genocide. Parenthood gained extra layers of struggle, not knowing if he would ever meet his grandparents, aunt, or cousins. Israel dropped the equivalent of 70,000 tons of explosives, the force of 6 atomic bombs, on an area as the size of Surrey, BC. I'm pretty sure every one of you knows someone in Surrey, BC. I managed to evacuate my parents and my little sister to Egypt. But my older sister, Lena, was forced to face an inhumane decision for a doctor. Either to flee with her daughters or remain to look after her patients. The following clip will share 2 years of her life in genocide in 2 minutes.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا
يا حبيبي خلاص. يلا يلا
91 و3.
فاهمك.
The results of my nieces came out just 2 days ago. They're still overwhelmed till now, 92%. There's a lot to sadden us, but there's more to make us proud. I'm proud of my niece Malak because a genocide conducted by an apartheid regime did not break one girl's spirit. And she managed to honor our grandfather's legacy. I'm proud because our flag is raised in every country, city, and town. I'm proud because I'm here in front of you, and I'm proud of this church. I'm proud that the Palestinian cause has become the scale by which we measure whether a politician is corrupt or humane and trustworthy. I'm proud of our Jewish brothers and sisters who stood against occupation, especially the ones who are living in the apartheid state of Israel. I'm proud that Gaza changed the lives of many and connected good-hearted people all around the world. And I'm proud that a Palestinian Jew changed the world 2,000 years ago and became the pillar of the Western civilization. And here we are, 2,000 years later, keeping on changing the world. Thank you.